Imagine walking into a room full of strangers, and within seconds, you know who's confident, who's anxious, who's pretending, and who's genuinely glad to be there. You shake a hand and instantly sense whether the person is trustworthy. You speak, and the room listens, not because you're the loudest, but because you understand people. That right there is social intelligence. Most people think intelligence is about test scores, memorization, or how fast you can solve a math problem. But what if I told you that some of the most successful people in the world don't rely on IQ, they rely on the intelligence of emotion, perception, and human connection? Social intelligence is the secret force behind magnetic personalities, skilled negotiators, and influential leaders. And in today's world, it's no longer optional. It's essential. In this video, we're not just scratching the surface. We're going deep into the art of reading and responding to people. You'll discover how your brain deciphers facial expressions before you're even aware of it, how small gestures can reveal someone's inner truth, how people are constantly signaling what they feel, and most of us miss it entirely. But not anymore. We'll break down the subtle cues people give off without even realizing. We'll explore why two people can hear the same sentence and come away with completely different meanings, and how you can become the one who always hears what was really meant. We'll decode how emotions travel like viruses in social settings, why a calm person can de-escalate tension simply by presence, and how you can learn to do the same. Think about this. Have you ever said something with good intentions only to be misunderstood or even resented? Have you found yourself thinking, why did they react like that? Chances are, the words were fine, but the delivery, the timing, the tone, they didn't match the receiver's social landscape. That's where social intelligence comes in. It's not just about understanding others, it's about seeing the invisible, emotional map that guides every human interaction. And it starts with awareness. Did you know that infants as young as 7 months can read emotional expressions? That long before we speak, we learn to detect tension, joy, or fear from the faces around us. Our brains are wired to be social, yet somehow, as we grow older, we forget to use that wiring, or we never learn to read the signals properly. In this video, we'll help you remember, and more importantly, we'll help you sharpen it. Whether you're trying to make friends, lead a team, improve your relationships, or simply avoid awkward encounters, mastering social intelligence gives you the edge. You'll understand the psychology behind small talk, the hidden language of microexpressions, and how silence often speaks louder than words. We'll explore the two main pillars of social intelligence: social awareness, the ability to intuit what others are feeling, and social facility, the skill to respond in ways that build trust and connection. These aren't just traits you're born with. They're skills you can develop, refine, and master. But here's the twist. The real power of social intelligence isn't in manipulating others, it's in understanding them, in bridging the gap between what is said and what is meant, in recognizing the fears behind anger, the uncertainty behind arrogance, and the pain behind silence. Most people react to what's visible. Those with social intelligence respond to what's hidden. And this mastery has changed lives. It's helped people diffuse conflicts, land jobs they weren't qualified for on paper, and build meaningful relationships in places others saw only resistance. There are moments where one sentence, one gesture, one smile delivered with the right timing and tone can change everything. That's what you're about to learn. We'll look at real-world scenarios, how great negotiators control conversations without dominating them, how emotionally intelligent leaders turn criticism into collaboration, why therapists diplomats, and even undercover agents are trained in advanced social cues, will bring you insights that aren't found in your average self-help book. Ideas grounded in neuroscience, psychology, and lived experience. And here's something most people don't realize. Social intelligence is not the same as being charming. Charm is often a performance. But social intelligence is presence. It's about listening deeply, observing accurately, and choosing responses that honor both yourself and the other person. It doesn't just make you more likable, it makes you more trustworthy, more respected, and more effective. If you've ever felt like you just don't get people, this video is for you. If you've ever been told you're too direct, or too quiet, or hard to read, we'll help you discover why and what to do about it. If you've ever wanted to connect more deeply with your partner, your colleagues, or even strangers, this is where it starts. So, stay with us until the end, because by the time we're done, you'll see people differently. You'll notice things you never saw before. You'll hear the unsaid and feel the unseen. And more importantly, you'll know what to do with that information. Welcome to Narrative Society, where we decode the unseen forces that shape our lives and relationships. If you find value in deep human insight told in a way that speaks to both heart and mind, consider subscribing. We've only just begun this journey, and what comes next might just change how you experience every conversation from this moment on. Before we talk about the techniques to master social intelligence, we need to understand what it actually is. Social intelligence is not just about being friendly or polite. It's much deeper than that. It's the ability to read a room, sense people's moods, respond appropriately, and build meaningful connections. It's about understanding how social situations work, and more importantly, knowing how to move within them without creating friction or confusion. Unlike general intelligence, which is about logic, memory, and problem solving, social intelligence is about people. You can have a high IQ and still struggle in conversations. You can know every fact in a book, but still be lost in a meeting because you misread someone's tone or facial expression. That's the gap social intelligence fills. Psychologists often describe it in two main parts: social awareness and social facility. Social awareness is the ability to sense what others are feeling. It's your radar. It picks up emotions in the room, often before anyone speaks a word. It's why you walk into a space and immediately feel whether something's off. It includes empathy, attunement, and understanding what others might need, even if they haven't said anything. Then there's social facility. This is your response system. It's how you act on the information your radar has picked up. Do you stay silent? Do you speak? Do you soften your words, or do you become more firm? Social facility allows you to manage conversations, express yourself in the right tone, build rapport, and resolve conflicts with grace. Without social facility, awareness is just observation. Together, they create mastery. Now, most people don't even know these two parts exist. They go through life reacting to others based on their own internal mood, without truly reading what's happening around them. They hear words, but miss the meaning. They see faces, but miss the feelings. They think communication is about talking, when in truth, it's about listening, noticing, adjusting, and responding. Social intelligence is not just instinct, it's learnable. And at the core of it lies something powerful: empathy. Empathy is the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes, but it's more than just feeling bad when someone is upset. It's about understanding their inner world, even when you don't agree with it. And here's where it gets interesting. Empathy comes in two forms: cognitive empathy and emotional empathy. Cognitive empathy is about thought. It's the mental ability to grasp what someone else is thinking or feeling. You don't have to feel it yourself, you just understand it intellectually. For example, a doctor might use cognitive empathy to understand a patient's fear before surgery. They don't feel the fear themselves, but they recognize it and adjust their communication accordingly. Then there's emotional empathy. This is when you actually feel what the other person feels. If someone near you is crying, and you suddenly feel sad without knowing why, that's emotional empathy. It's powerful, immediate, and deeply human. It creates connection. It tells the other person, I feel this with you. Both types of empathy are essential for social intelligence, but they serve different roles. Cognitive empathy helps you stay rational and calm when others are emotional. It allows you to plan your words and actions thoughtfully. Emotional empathy, on the other hand, creates trust. People sense when you feel their feelings, and it makes them feel seen. But empathy is not without its challenges. If you have too much emotional empathy and no control, you can get overwhelmed. You may take on others' pain until you burn out. That's why developing empathy also means learning how to protect your own emotional space while still staying open to others. There's another layer to this. Social intelligence doesn't mean being agreeable all the time. It's not about saying yes to keep people happy. In fact, sometimes the most socially intelligent thing to do is say no, but say it in a way that keeps the relationship intact. That's where social facility comes in. It teaches you how to deliver hard truths without creating enemies, how to stand your ground with respect, and how to disagree without destroying connection. In everyday life, we see examples of poor social intelligence all the time. Someone who overshares in a first meeting, someone who doesn't notice when others are uncomfortable, someone who dominates a conversation without realizing others want to speak. These moments aren't necessarily caused by rudeness. Often, they're just a lack of social awareness, a blind spot in emotional reading. Think of social intelligence as a dance. You're always adjusting your steps based on the rhythm of those around you. Sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow, but you always stay aware of the other person's movement. You don't step on their toes. You don't rush the pace. You stay in sync. That's the beauty of it. And science supports this. Studies show that people with higher social intelligence tend to have stronger relationships, better teamwork, and even healthier lives. Why? Because they manage stress better. They resolve conflicts faster. They build networks of trust and support. They don't just react to life, they respond to it wisely and compassionately. Before we move forward, it's important to realize that social intelligence is not a fixed trait. You're not born with a set amount and stuck with it. Like any skill, it grows with practice. It begins with paying attention to yourself, to others, to what's happening beneath the surface. It means asking, what is this person really feeling? And then adjusting your behavior based on that answer. It also requires humility. You won't always get it right. You'll misread someone's mood. You'll say the wrong thing. But each moment is a chance to learn, to refine your radar and your response. Over time, you'll become someone who just gets it, not because you've memorized rules, but because you've trained your awareness. And here's something most people never think about. Social intelligence isn't just used in social situations. It affects how you work, how you lead, how you parent, even how you talk to yourself. It shapes how others see you and how you see the world. It's the bridge between connection and confusion, between cooperation and conflict. People with high social intelligence don't just fit in, they stand out. not because they're loud or flashy, but because they move through the world with a quiet confidence. They listen, they respond, they connect. And in a world that's often loud, chaotic, and disconnected, that kind of presence is magnetic. The best part? You can start building it right now, not by pretending or performing, but by noticing, paying attention to facial expressions, listening not just for words, but for tone, asking yourself, what is this person really saying? And then responding, not out of habit, but out of understanding. That is the heart of social intelligence. To truly master social intelligence, there's a deeper layer that many overlook. It's called theory of mind. This isn't a theory in the usual sense. It's a powerful mental ability, one that allows us to understand that other people have thoughts, desires, beliefs, and perspectives that are different from our own. Theory of mind is what helps you guess what someone else is thinking, even when they don't say a word. It's how you know a friend is upset, even when they claim they're fine. It's how you predict someone's next move, not because you read their mind, but because you understand that they have a mind at all, one filled with experiences and emotions that shape their behavior. This ability doesn't come out of nowhere. It develops over time, starting in early childhood. At first, children believe everyone sees the world as they do, but gradually, around the age of 4 or 5, they begin to realize others have separate minds. They start lying, not out of malice, but they understand someone else can be tricked. That moment marks the beginning of theory of mind. In social situations, this skill is everything. It's what allows for empathy, negotiation, and even humor. It helps us anticipate reactions, avoid misunderstandings, and build trust. Without it, we would constantly misinterpret others, assuming they share our thoughts or know things we know. Relationships would become minefields of confusion. Imagine talking to someone and forgetting that they don't have access to your thoughts. You might skip important details or misjudge their response. That's what happens when theory of mind is weak. It creates blind spots in communication. Strong theory of mind, on the other hand, makes you attentive, patient, and more forgiving. You pause to consider how others see things, and that changes how you speak and act. This ability is also closely tied to reading nonverbal cues, because much of what people think or feel isn't spoken aloud, it's shown, and the signs are always there, if you know where to look. Social intelligence depends not just on hearing words, but on watching what the body says. A slumped posture, a quick glance, a slight hesitation. These speak volumes. Body language is the secret language of emotion. It reveals discomfort, interest, boredom, anxiety, and excitement. Long before a person explains themselves, facial expressions are especially rich with information. The furrowed brow, the tight lips, the raised eyebrows, all of them are coded messages. A smile can be genuine or forced. Eyes can invite or reject. When someone's words say yes, but their face says no, the face is usually telling the truth. Tone of voice is another hidden layer. The same sentence can sound encouraging or condescending depending on how it's said. A rising tone may suggest uncertainty. A flat tone might signal boredom. A whisper can be intimate or threatening. The voice carries emotional data that words can't fully capture. Understanding these cues takes practice. For example, crossed arms are often seen as a defensive sign, but context matters. The person might simply be cold. Avoiding eye contact can mean nervousness or guilt, but in some cultures it's a sign of respect. The key is not to jump to conclusions, but to combine observations with empathy and context. Look at someone's gestures. Are they open, animated, engaged, Or are they closed off, minimal, withdrawn? Observe their posture. Are they leaning in or leaning away? These tiny choices give you a window into their state of mind. Mirroring is another powerful cue. People tend to subconsciously mimic the body language of those they feel connected to. If someone is reflecting your gestures or posture, it often means they're engaged and comfortable. If they're still and distant, it might be a signal of disinterest or discomfort. The eyes, often called the window to the soul, offer even more. A direct gaze can create intimacy or challenge. A quick dart to the side might indicate a lie or just a search for the right word. Dilated pupils, frequent blinking, or a steady stare can all point to different emotional states. Again, the meaning lies in the pattern, not a single moment. The hands also speak. Fidgeting might suggest anxiety. Clenched fists can show anger or restraint. Open palms usually convey honesty and openness. Even the speed of someone's movements can tell you something. Fast, jerky motions might signal stress or urgency, while slow, smooth ones can suggest calm or control. Nonverbal cues aren't just for reading others, they're also for managing how you're seen. The way you walk into a room, hold yourself during a conversation, and respond to questions all shape how people perceive your confidence, warmth, and trustworthiness. Social intelligence includes being aware of the signals you send, not just the ones you receive. Eye contact is one of the most delicate of these signals. Too little, and you seem evasive. Too much, and you seem aggressive. Finding the right balance, engaged but not intense, is a silent but powerful way to build rapport. And tone doesn't just affect what others hear, it also influences how you feel. Studies show that changing your tone can change your mood. Speaking gently can calm you down. Speaking firmly can give you confidence. That's why people rehearse speeches aloud, not just to memorize words, but to tune the emotion in their voice. The more you attune yourself to these nonverbal layers, the more you notice the truth behind the words. You start to see when someone says they're fine, but their body says otherwise. You pick up on hesitation, excitement, or discomfort, sometimes before the person even realizes it themselves. All of this makes you not just a better communicator, but a better human being. You respond to the unspoken. You sense when someone needs space or when they're ready to talk. You know when to push and when to pause. That kind of sensitivity builds trust, deepens relationships, and diffuses tension before it explodes. And it doesn't end in conversation. These skills apply in interviews, negotiations, arguments, apologies, even in silence. Some of the most powerful moments happen without words. A look of understanding, a reassuring gesture, a shared laugh. These are the moments that build real connection. In the end, social intelligence is not about manipulation or charm. It's about awareness. It's about learning to see others clearly, not just as characters in your story, but as full human beings with stories of their own. Theory of mind gives you the lens. Nonverbal cues give you the signals, and together they open the door to understanding people in a way that words alone never could. Active listening is not just hearing words. It's the art of truly understanding another person. It means being fully present, not just with your ears, but with your eyes, your body language, your silence. It's when you listen, not to reply, but to absorb. Most people listen while planning their next sentence. Their minds wander. They catch the gist, but they miss the nuance. That's not real listening. That's waiting for your turn to talk. Active listening transforms conversations. It builds trust, resolves conflict, and deepens relationships. It tells the other person, you matter, what you're saying matters. In a world full of noise, that kind of presence is rare and powerful. The first key to active listening is attention. Put away distractions. Look the person in the eye. Show them that, for this moment, nothing else exists but their voice. Nod occasionally. Let your face reflect what they're feeling. These small signs tell them you're there with them. The second key is patience. Don't interrupt. Let silence do its work. Sometimes the most honest thoughts come after a pause. Resist the urge to fill the gap or rush them along. Listening is not a race. Paraphrasing helps too. Repeat back what you heard in your own words so what you're saying, this shows that you're tracking, that you care enough to make sure you understood correctly. It also gives them a chance to clarify. Ask open-ended questions. Not yes or no, but how did that feel, or what happened next? Invite them to go deeper. Show curiosity, not judgment. Watch for what's unsaid. Notice the tone, the hesitations, the things they avoid. Sometimes what's missing speaks louder than what's spoken. Validate their emotions. Even if you disagree, you can still say, that must have been tough. Or, I see why you'd feel that way. Validation doesn't mean agreement. It means recognition. Listening actively also means checking your assumptions. You may think you know where the story's going, but you don't. Stay open. Let them take you there. When you respond, stay grounded in what they said, not what you expected or wanted to hear. This is the difference between connection and collision. Active listening is not just a skill, it's a mindset. It requires humility, a willingness to step outside your own thoughts and enter someone else's world. It's one of the purest forms of respect, but even with the best listening, there's something that can still get in the way. Bias. Everyone has biases. They are the filters we wear without realizing it. Formed by upbringing, culture, past experiences, and unconscious patterns, they shape how we see others and ourselves. Some biases are easy to spot. Prejudice based on race, gender, religion. Others are subtler. We might assume someone is lazy because they're quiet, or smart because they wear glasses. These snap judgments live in the background, steering our perceptions without our permission. Bias affects how we listen. It makes us dismiss some voices and amplify others. It makes us interrupt, ignore, misread, and misjudge. And the worst part is, we often don't know we're doing it. Becoming aware of bias starts with slowing down. Ask yourself, why did I just think that? Or would I feel the same way if someone else said it? These small moments of reflection break the automatic loop. Exposure helps too. Read widely. Listen to stories from people unlike you. Step outside your social echo chamber. The more you learn about others, the harder it becomes to cling to narrow ideas. Practice perspective shifting. When you meet someone new, try to imagine their background, their pressures, their fears. What challenges shape them? What dreams drive them? When you see people as full humans instead of types, bias loses its grip. Challenge stereotypes gently. If a friend says something biased, ask, what makes you say that? Invite dialogue, not debate. The goal is not to win an argument, but to open a mind including your own. Use mindfulness to spot emotional triggers. Bias often shows up when we're tired, stressed, or overwhelmed. That's when the brain defaults to shortcuts. Breathing, grounding, and pausing can reset the moment. Create space for diverse voices in your life. Surrounding yourself with different perspectives is not about being politically correct. It's about seeing more of reality. It makes your thinking sharper, your empathy deeper, and your decisions smarter. Own your mistakes. If you catch yourself reacting with bias, don't hide it. Acknowledge it. Learn from it. That humility is what turns awareness into growth. Understanding bias also means recognizing privilege. Not everyone starts at the same line. Some carry burdens others can't see. Social intelligence includes this awareness. It means knowing that sometimes the kindest thing you can do is just to listen and not explain. Sometimes bias shows up as confirmation bias, only seeing what supports your existing beliefs, or affinity bias, favoring those who are like you, or status quo bias, resisting new ideas because they challenge what's familiar. Naming these patterns is the first step to weakening them. Our brains like certainty. Bias offers shortcuts, but real understanding takes effort. It asks you to pause, question, and choose a better response. Social intelligence grows when we combine active listening with active awareness. When we hear not just the voice, but also the silence. When we see not just the surface, but also the story. When we speak not to impress, but to connect. In the end, the most intelligent people aren't those with the quickest minds. They're the ones with the openest hearts. They listen, they learn, and they grow, one honest conversation at a time. Not everyone speaks the same language. Even when using the same words, people process information differently, express emotions differently, and respond to different cues depending on their background, personality, and context. That's why one of the most important skills in social intelligence is the ability to adapt your communication style. It's the difference between being understood and being ignored. A direct, fast-paced message may work wonders in a boardroom, but fall flat in a community meeting. A casual tone might build comfort with friends, but seem unprofessional in formal settings. Socially intelligent individuals recognize the setting, read the room, and adjust accordingly. Start by observing. What kind of energy does the other person bring? Do they prefer facts or stories? Do they speak quickly or slowly? Are they more formal or laid back? Mirroring subtle traits without mocking can build instant comfort. This is not about manipulation. It's about respect. Adapting your tone, volume, pace, and even your vocabulary to meet someone where they are is a sign of emotional agility. Some people are visual thinkers. They respond better to charts, diagrams, and imagery. Others are auditory. They prefer verbal explanations or discussions. And some are kinesthetic. They understand through doing or feeling. Knowing your audience's preference can make your message land with more clarity and impact. In high-stress situations, simplify, avoid jargon, use short, clear sentences. Emotions run high, and people don't absorb complex language well. Clarity becomes kindness. In more relaxed settings, metaphors, humor, and storytelling can deepen engagement. Nonverbal alignment matters too. Crossed arms can signal resistance. Leaning in shows interest. Eye contact builds connection, but in some cultures too much can feel invasive. Socially intelligent communicators respect these nuances. They don't assume one size fits all. They pay attention. Tone of voice conveys emotion more powerfully than words. A warm tone invites trust. A flat one feels distant. A sharp one triggers defense. You can say, "I understand" in 100 ways, but only one will make the other person feel understood. Ask questions that reflect curiosity, not interrogation. What's your take on this? Opens doors. Why didn't you do that? shuts them. Small shifts in phrasing create massive shifts in response. Adaptation isn't about being fake, it's about being flexible. It's not changing who you are, it's choosing the version of you that connects best in a given moment. Just like a musician changes tempo for the mood, you adjust your tone for the listener. That's the rhythm of real conversation. And underneath all that rhythm, there's something deeper that holds everything together: trust. Trust is the invisible currency of all relationships. You can't buy it, you can't demand it, you earn it, moment by moment, word by word. And once lost, it's hard to regain. Trust begins with consistency. Do what you say. Follow through. Show up on time. Keep your promises, even the small ones. Inconsistency breeds doubt. Reliability builds faith. Honesty is the foundation. That doesn't mean bluntness. It means truth, with care. People respect authenticity, even when it's uncomfortable. Saying "I don't know" can build more trust than pretending to have all the answers. Rapport grows in the little things: a shared joke, a remembered detail, a thoughtful pause. It's the micro moments when someone feels seen, heard, and safe that build bonds stronger than grand gestures ever could. Being present is one of the rarest and most valuable forms of connection. Put your phone away. Make eye contact. Show that this moment matters. People remember how you made them feel, not just what you said. Vulnerability is powerful. When you open up just enough to show your humanity, you invite others to do the same. Trust deepens not through perfection, but through realness. Admitting a mistake, sharing a doubt, or asking for help creates space for mutual respect. Affirmation builds bridges. A sincere compliment, a thank you, that means a lot, plants seeds of goodwill. People thrive on being appreciated. It's not about flattery, it's about recognition. Empathy fuels rapport. When you feel what they feel, or at least try to, you signal alignment. I get it. That sounds really tough. These words, when genuine, create an emotional handshake. Shared experience strengthens connection. Working on a project together, facing a challenge, or celebrating a win together forges emotional memory. These experiences become reference points of trust. Trust also grows when you honor boundaries, respect people's time, space, and emotional comfort. Don't push too far, too fast. Let the relationship unfold at its natural pace. Rushing trust can damage it. Listening, truly listening, is the core. When people feel heard, they feel valued. And when they feel valued, trust blossoms. A nod, a pause, a reflection back. These simple acts build invisible bridges. Trust isn't static, it's fragile. One careless comment, one broken promise, one act of indifference, and it can fracture. Repair takes humility. I was wrong. I didn't mean to hurt you. How can I make it right? These phrases require courage, but they restore what pride can break. People may forget your words, but they will never forget how you made them feel. That's the essence of social intelligence. It's not about charm or charisma, it's about care. It's about choosing your words with wisdom, your silence with intention, and your presence with compassion. Whether in business or friendship, trust is the ground everything else is built on. Without it, even the best strategies fall apart. With it, even the hardest conversations can be navigated. In the silent language of trust, actions speak the loudest. Listening is louder than talking. Integrity is louder than persuasion. Respect is louder than expertise. Adapting how you speak and how you show up isn't just strategy, It's empathy in motion. And empathy, repeated often enough, becomes trust. Trust, sustained over time, becomes loyalty. And loyalty earned through attention, care, and honesty is the true mark of social intelligence mastery. Feedback is a mirror. It reflects not just how we perform, but how others experience us. It's one of the most powerful tools for growth, and one of the most misunderstood. Social intelligence transforms feedback from a dreaded confrontation into a meaningful conversation, not a judgment, but a gesture of care, not an attack, but an opportunity. People thrive when they know where they stand and how they can grow. Yet so many conversations go wrong because feedback is delivered too late, too harshly, or without direction. The right feedback given at the right time can inspire confidence, correct mistakes, and strengthen relationships. Timing matters. Wait too long, and the impact fades. Speak too soon, and emotions might still be raw. Socially intelligent individuals read the moment. They don't ambush, they approach with intention. Is this a good time to talk about something I noticed? That single question can make someone feel safe instead of cornered. Tone carries the message. A calm, respectful voice invites openness. A sharp, impatient one creates defense. Words like "you always" or "you never" shut people down. Replace blame with curiosity. I noticed this happened. What's your perspective on it? That invites dialogue, not conflict. Feedback should be specific. Vague phrases like "you need to do better" create confusion. Pinpoint the behavior, not the person. In yesterday's meeting, when you interrupted twice, it disrupted the flow. Let's work on giving space for others to finish. That's clarity. That's growth-oriented. Positive feedback isn't just praise, it's reinforcement. I really appreciated how you stayed calm under pressure today. That tells the brain, do more of that. Affirm what's working. It builds motivation. Constructive feedback isn't criticism, it's guidance. It says, I see your potential. Here's how we reach it together. Delivered with empathy, it feels like mentorship, not punishment. Receiving feedback well is just as important. Defensive reactions are natural, but not helpful. The socially intelligent pause, breathe, and listen. Thank you for the insight. I'll reflect on that. These words turn vulnerability into strength. Not all feedback is right, but even flawed feedback can carry a kernel of truth. Ask, what can I learn from this? Growth is not about agreement. It's about awareness. Asking for feedback shows confidence. What can I improve? Or was there anything I could have done differently? Signals humility and commitment to betterment. It turns passive learning into active development. Feedback isn't a one-time event. It's a loop, a living process. The best teams, friendships, and families don't avoid difficult conversations. They build systems for them. They normalize feedback like they do gratitude. Feedback, when given with care, becomes a gift. Feedback, when received with grace, becomes power. In that exchange lies one of the purest forms of human connection, the willingness to grow together. Growth, after all, is never a destination. It's a path. Social intelligence isn't a skill you master once. It's a lifelong practice. Like a muscle, it strengthens with use. Like a compass, it needs regular calibration. The more you apply it, the sharper it gets. The more you reflect, the clearer it becomes. Self-awareness is the engine. Take time to ask, how did I come across in that conversation? Or did I really listen? Or was I just waiting to talk? These questions hold the keys to daily improvement. Journaling can help. Write about your social interactions, what went well, what didn't, what surprised you. Over time, patterns emerge. And in those patterns lie the map to your evolution. Mindfulness deepens social intelligence. Being present, not distracted, not rehearsing replies, allows you to notice the subtle shifts in emotion, posture, or tone that many miss. It transforms everyday exchanges into profound moments of insight. Reading people starts with reading yourself. Your triggers, your blind spots, your emotional habits. The more you understand your own wiring, the better you'll understand others. That's not psychology, that's wisdom. Social challenges are your training ground. That awkward meeting, that disagreement with a friend, that moment you misunderstood someone's silence. Each is a lesson in awareness, empathy, and growth. You don't fail at social intelligence, you practice it. Books open doors. Works by Daniel Goleman, Dale Carnegie, and Adam Grant offer frameworks, stories, and science. But don't stop at reading. Experiment with the ideas, apply them, reflect, refine. Podcasts and audiobooks extend learning into your routine. A walk becomes a class. A commute becomes a workshop. Learning doesn't need a classroom, just curiosity and consistency. Role-playing can accelerate your growth. Practice difficult conversations with a friend. Swap feedback. Experiment with different tones, phrases, and responses. Play out the scenarios that scare you. Confidence is built through exposure, not avoidance. Mentors matter. Find someone whose social grace you admire. Watch how they handle conflict, build rapport, or speak in meetings. Ask them questions. Learn not just what they say, but how they say it. Social intelligence isn't about being liked by everyone. It's about being effective with anyone. It's the art of connection, not perfection. It's the science of human behavior blended with the heart of empathy. You will stumble. You will misread someone. You'll say the wrong thing. That's not failure. That's feedback. That's life nudging you toward refinement. Each awkward moment is sandpaper, shaping you into a better communicator. Celebrate the wins. That tough conversation you handled well. That person you made feel seen. That moment you stayed calm. When you used to explode. These are victories. Mark them. Never stop learning. Every person you meet has something to teach you. Every conflict hides a mirror. Every compliment is a clue. Stay curious, not just about others, but about how you relate to others. The journey of social intelligence is the journey of becoming a better human, more aware, more kind, more wise. It's not about reading minds, it's about reading hearts and responding in a way that uplifts, empowers, and connects. Because in the end, social intelligence isn't measured by what you know, but by how people feel after they've interacted with you, seen, respected, valued, inspired. Keep practicing. Keep evolving. You're already on the path. Social intelligence isn't just a skill, it's a way of being. It's the quiet strength behind meaningful conversations, the unseen thread that connects us, and the wisdom that allows us to navigate life's most complex relationships with grace. You've learned how social intelligence goes far beyond simple charm or book smarts. It's about reading people, truly reading them, not just through words, but through gestures, tone, and silence. It's about feeling what they feel, understanding what they need, and responding in ways that create trust, clarity, and connection. From the power of empathy to the subtle art of body language, From active listening to managing your own biases, from adjusting how you speak to building trust that lasts, every part of this journey is a chance to become more present, more aware, and more intentional. And the best part? You don't have to master everything overnight. Social intelligence grows with you. Every conversation is a new opportunity. Every mistake is a lesson. Every connection is a step forward. So take what you've learned today and start practicing with your friends, your colleagues, your family. Notice the difference. Feel the shift. You'll be amazed at how even small changes in your awareness and responses can completely transform your relationships. If this video sparked something in you, if you feel more equipped to understand people and handle interactions with more clarity and care, then make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel, Narrative Society. Because this is just the beginning. We're here to help you decode the human experience, one powerful idea at a time.